Hi, it's Ra, Rishikavi Raghudas from Star Presence Astrology, here to give the astrological forecast for Sunday, March 9th, 2025. Well, for most of the day, the sun and the moon are both still in water signs, which highlights our creativity, our intuition, and our emotional security issues. The sun today is at 19 degrees of mystical magical water sign Pisces. Sometimes a little too ethereal for its own good, but Pisces energy has to do with the unseen worlds, the cosmic web of being. The moon today is moving through the latter degrees of ultra-sensitive, sometimes moody, but always pretty nurturing water sign Cancer. So we have to do with home and family. Our emotional connectivity issues are really up front for us today. Might feel a little crabby or just kind of drawn into ourselves because it's one of those emotional sorts of days for most of the day. And that means that we're just going to have to feel our way through the day rather than think or take action. It's one of those feeling sorts of days. The moon makes mostly positive aspects, though. In the morning, the very early morning, the moon makes a harmonious sextile, 60-degree angle to Uranus, which is sometimes called the planet of chaos, but this is a 60-degree sextile, which is a harmonious and flowing angle, which is good and means that we're kind of, we get brilliant ideas, or we try to think outside the box and it all sort of works out. It's one of those very nice kind of liberating energies from 23 degrees of Cancer to Uranus at 23 degrees of Taurus, coming very early, 4:39 a.m. Pacific Standard. It's daylight time now, Pacific Daylight Time, 7:39 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 12:39 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And then a lot of hours go by, about 10 hours go by until the afternoon, toward the evening, when the moon makes a harmonious trine from the last degree of Cancer, 29 degrees of Cancer, to Neptune, the ruling planet of Pisces, planet of dreams and visions, and on the positive end of things, and also illusion, delusion, and confusion on the lower end of things, sitting at 29 degrees of its home sign of Pisces. But this is nice and dreamy and spiritual and creative and mystical. So this is a good moment to sort of practice meditation or get into something creative. 2:32 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time is when that occurs. 5:32 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 10:32 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Moon goes void, of course, not making another aspect until it moves just before 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 7 a.m. p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and midnight Greenwich Mean Time into the grand and glorious fire sign of Leo. We'll be, of course, in the gold tomorrow for Leo. And then the moon makes an opposition to Pluto, the Lord of Power, in the evening, which can be a little tough because that is one of those, I want to fight and I feel my mind is darkened and I got all these issues coming up kinds of aspects. And you don't want to get into it with people. 3 degrees of Leo is where the moon is at that point, to Pluto at 3 degrees of Aquarius. 9:48 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 12:48 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 5:48 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. My advice, be by yourself or just go to bed. Don't get into it with people. It's not worth it. But most of the day, very nice and smooth. I'm Ra, Rishikavi Raghudas from Star Presence Astrology. If you would like to have a personal reading with me, you can book it on my website, starpresence.net. Remember, from the very moment that you're born, you've got star presence. Enjoy this day, no matter what.